$100,000 cash, and you have an IRA that you're investing with, and you're using it to purchase property, for me to benefit myself to where, let's say I want to show less profit on this money. I don't want to show so much profit. I can lend you the money, lend your IRA the money. We write up a promissory note, and we make it, you want to be realistic with your interest rate, but I can really be considerate. And so I would show less of a profit. If I wanted to show more, maybe I'd mark up the interest rate a little higher. Okay? But I can lend money to your IRA from my pocket, cash. The reverse can work as well, and this is where you just have to drop a promissory note. Your IRA can act as a bank. You don't have to invest in real estate. We have clients that do hard money loans all day from their IRA. In case he's going out, he's doing a deal, he's buying some raw land, he needs $50,000. Okay, we draw up a promissory note, and my IRA writes him a check for 50 grand. It's going to be paid back quarterly or annually or whatever it says at this interest rate. And all that money's going back in my IRA, I'm not touching it. So it's still making me money.
So technically then, because it's an LLC, you could actually fund the entire thing not from your IRA, and then be doing business real estate transactions and fall into the mortgage approval standards that the business conforms to.
The big thing to be aware of, the biggest thing is that I'm not personally just putting money, and I had to bring Karen into my scenario because I'm not just pulling money out of my pocket and lending it to my IRA.
Right. Well, no, because with your, all right, so I put a number that has a lot of nines in it, many dollars, and $1 in IRA money and a bunch of cash. So those are, have to be accounted for separately and have to not be commingled. But then the LLC, independent of where it got the money from, is now a business that can go out and look for traditional financing.
I thought you said it had to be equally funded. You can't do that.
No, it can be funded in any proportion or not. Yeah. Yeah.
So you could go out and get an IRA LLC mortgage.
Yes.
If you've got 1% of the money is in the IRA LLC.
Yes and no. The lenders want to see that there's some money in there. So if I say I'm buying property for $100,000, I've only got $1,000 in there of IRA money, but the rest is coming from cash. If it's not my cash, if you're going to put the money in there, then my IRA statement, that bank account, is going to show $100,000. Even if it's only $1,000 of my own money and 99 came from you, then yeah, you can get an IRA mortgage based on that $100,000 that's sitting in there, because that account is owned by your IRA. So when you provide them with that statement, they'll say, okay, here's the property, here's an account worth $100,000. So Casey, I guess to get back to your point, yeah, it doesn't matter where it came from in that respect. And then I go out, I buy the property with my IRA LLC, the money that's going back in is building that, and then I'm paying you back on whatever terms we agreed on our promissory note.
That is interesting. That's like a way of getting around the whole FICO score and that's just qualified. It's all
Which is why
What percent? The bottom line.
Right.
You say 1%.
Tied to what?
I don't think anybody's going to go for less than 8 or 7.
Well, they vary, but usually based on market, whatever market is, yeah, whatever market rate is, it's usually a little bit higher. But
now you can go out and get a 30-year fixed on it for that. As a mono, or 30% down if you qualify.
right,
5 1/4.
right,
But to get a private money, most of these are private money.
right.
Well,
So
most of these are, and they're the one I felt was 40% down and 8% a 7-year call.
right. But I think some of the key points there are, if you qualify,
Yes.
and then how much have you invested or how many properties have you purchased? So now are you being looked at as a business, whereas it changes your tax consequence and so forth.
That's a good thing to do. I mean, if you have over 10 properties, it's hard to get.
Right, right, definitely.
You just have less guidelines. Basically.
So it's really not, yeah, because they're looking just at the property. So it makes things
What you pay for.
a lot, right, what you pay for, right. You are going to pay a little more for the loan, but if you consider what you're looking to invest in, what you're, the type of transaction, and hopefully you're making more than 8% on the return. If not, I mean, let's look at some CDs. You know, hopefully you're going to make more than 8% on this deal. Yeah.
That's very interesting, thank you, Heather.
And you said that the IRA loans are normally a point over whatever market is.
Yeah.
A point or two.
Right. Could be. But now, okay, let's look at this as an example. Let's say, yeah, that's a bit high. And instead of going that route, I'm going to talk to someone else, and Lane has an IRA. I know she just started her checkbook control. Let me see if she wants to lend money. Instead of buy property, maybe I can entice her with an interest rate. Maybe I can talk to her and say, okay, she says, you know what, I don't even want to deal with property. I don't want to deal with being, you know, going out and checking on the property. And you have people that will just lend from the IRA. So depending on what type of negotiated rate you come up with, it may be beneficial to do that.
Mark, my money's 10%.
Okay, so we know we're going to go back to the banks now. Thank you for that, Elaine. Yes, David.
Yeah, that whole thing on the private lending with
That's
the
actually cheap.
Safe.
I'll get your name.
with the SAFE Act and the SEC. I mean, the issues are if you're doing private loans, you're in California. You've got to stick with California investors, and you can't go out of state for investors, and you can't go out of state for investments. Mm-hmm. And so the big issue here is, you know, if you're using this IRA LLC, you still have to comply with all that stuff. You don't.
You don't have to set it up as a California entity unless you plan on buying property in California. So you can set it up in any state, and your IRA can lend money to anyone in any state.
Okay.
I just found a website, iralending.com.
Okay.
Non-recourse lender,
Mm-hmm.
15 to 20, 25 years.
Okay.
Probably 1% over the going rate.
Okay.
Look at the property in any state.
Mm-hmm.
That's good.
Yeah, most of them will say in any state, and then you go, okay, well, I've got a couple condos in Vegas, and they go, oh, about that.
Almost.
Yeah, let me get back to you. But yeah, a couple of them will do any state. Yes, sir.
Will this only work on residential or commercial?
Anything.
How about on notes as well?
Yes, anything. Notes, tax liens, foreclosures, commercial property, businesses. My guy called me last year. He wants to buy a 7-Eleven. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Use your IRA for a 7-Eleven. He's like, yeah, but I'm going to manage it. I'm going to work there. I said, okay, you can do that. He goes, so how much can I pay myself? You can't.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Why would I work there for free? It's your IRA money. I told you you're a disqualified party. He goes, well, I have a brother. Can he work there? Yep. Can I pay him? Yep. So my brother can run my 7-Eleven? Sure. No problem. So businesses, commercial properties, strip centers. We got a client who bought a shopping mall, like a little strip center. Yeah.
Okay, is that pretty much all the questions?
Thank you guys so much for your time. Thank you very much. I'm glad I didn't bore you guys. Well, thank you, sir.
Wonderful information. I think it's going to make a lot of people very happy.
I hope so. I hope so. Thank you very much.
Thank you all for making it here. You got AJ's information, so
I have business cards and flyers.
get back to AJ, get back to me. I'm happy to help facilitate however I can. Thank you very much. Crank this off over here.
Okay.